Zeus.
Credo Crossing Radio.
They say they care, but do they really know? It's beyond their abilities, and really know. They say they care, we know they really don't.
Good morning.
It's all for show, they do it all for show. They set the world on fire, they let it burn slow. I was just cruising the streets, I was looking for something to eat. I'm trying to get me some sleep, I'm trying to make it for me. My family struggling for peace, my family needs what they got. My family eating these
Good morning.
My family eating these streets, my family. It's a PSA announcement. They say they care, but they really don't.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hey.
They keep on blaming the media and blaming the government. You say you want freedom, do you really know? You give them your rights away and then you give them all.
Let's go.
Money coming in different ways.
Don't say you're poor, don't say you're helping these kids, and then you close the door. You ain't no better than politicians, you hypocrites. All the power to make a change and make a difference. All this talking you're saying and ain't saying much. Good morning, Queen, in excess.
It's beyond their ability.
Is it really though?
They say they care, we know they really don't. It's all a front for show, they do it all for show. They set the world on fire, they let it burn slow.
They set the world on fire, they let it burn slow.
Yeah,
They let it burn slow.
yeah, they set the world on fire, they let it burn slow.
Good morning, attacking.
Left arm out, you put your right hand in and then you shake it all about. You do this hokey pokey and it break you on down.
Johnny
That's what
Stearns,
it's all
good morning.
about.
Hey.
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Together again.
Don't be so basic and practice on your greatness. Life don't work like that, gotta be amazing. I've been down and out, I know what it takes to be on top right now. I know I'm your favorite. This is hip hop and politics and relevance.
This ain't J6, but
It's an insurrection. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this show started. You know what we do over here. Oh my goodness.
feel like I'm stuck in a cycle.
It's almost like
It's like I'm
someone's been
stuck
trying to be Zeus. Good morning,
in
Hector.
a curse.
Let's go. It's showtime.
It's like deja vu.
It really is like deja vu.
It's deja vu when I'm writing up these raps. I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be
Thank you,
back.
Laura.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying
Let's go.
first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it. This is how it's supposed to happen when you're rich and famous. The algorithm turned me to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin is my bestie. And if they is my ex, that mean they left me. They don't get replies and they text me. I say I'm with my chest cause I'm in it.
Here we go.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
That's right.
Call me the master with a new whip. I'ma take off in a spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days.
Yes.
Shit was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja
Cut it
vu.
out, conservative land.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
That's what they
It's
do
like
though.
deja vu. It's deja vu when I'm writing up these raps. I'm like the Terminator screaming,
I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
I'll be back.
It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. It's return of the man, they say I'm off the rails. I can't wait for you, I get it for myself. So many places to be, I got plenty. Act like you've been here before, we start trending. Don't mistake me for a lame or goofy. Rockstar life is like a movie. Hollywood, Hollywood, where you be at? I remember when I used to drive a Fiat. Now they looking for me like I'm Ray S. It's a conspiracy how I keep on getting checks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Good. All right, let's DJ kill the music. All right, welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the morning show with your host, your favorite host, me, Zeus. All right, so let's get straight into it. All right, and before we do though, we like to take care of some housekeeping items, right? So let's get that out of the way. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. There's nobody more honest than me on social media. The next H is because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. If I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize. All right. And just because your feelings are hurt by what I said doesn't mean I'm wrong. All right. That's a completely different situation. All right. And then the last H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am and will always remain the most handsome. We love you too. Little Miss Perfect. Greetings. Cemento. Good morning, champ. All right, good morning, Shay. All right. So many of you know what we do on this side of town. What we do over here on this side of town, in this part of TikTok, in this kingdom, is something very near and dear to my heart. We hold our friends on the right accountable, especially their leader, Donald J. Trump. We hold them accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as their crimes. And believe you me, when it comes to dirty deeds and crimes, there's a lot of that going on the right, especially with their leader. All right. So I got to give Trump supporters who love to tune into my show every morning. By the way, if they're Trump supporters, please, ladies and gentlemen, as long as they're not being mean and hateful, it's okay for them to express their dissension. All right, Sir Puff. How many of you know who Sir Puff is? He came crying to me, Zeus, your moderators, they're beating me. I said, listen, I have the best moderators in town, Sir Puff, but I'll try to put in a good word for you so they'll stop picking on you. Because I don't personally have a problem with the dissension in the comments at this point, because I understand we got a long way to go with MAGA. All right, we got a long way to go with these Trump supporters going into 2024, and along those lines, I understand that the closer Donald Trump is going to get to prison, each and every day Donald Trump gets closer and closer to prison, and what happens is his supporters, they feel like it's their duty to defend Donald Trump all the way until the end. And so I'm going to ask that you all brace for impact, because you will be seeing a lot of MAGA tears. All right. There's going to be a lot of MAGA tears. I mean, this is their last Christmas with Donald Trump as a free person, right? So brace yourselves when they get out here and they're being nasty. Count it all joy, because they've earned this. This is part of the ultimate MAGA reward, right? And so I've got to say this to you, Trump supporters. If you are, as my good friend, Brother Swerve says, lactose intolerant, that means you're lactose intolerant, sort of like when you're allergic to milk. This is not a safe space for you, because there's going to be an overwhelming amount of truth coming out of this live, whether it's from myself, my friends out there in the comment section, or even some of the panelists who have the courage and conviction to get in the box and tell the truth and shame the devil. All right. Yeah, March is right around the corner. So along those lines, let's give the Trump supporters one last opportunity to exit this live and go on about their miserable lives. And believe you me, if yesterday was a sample about how miserable it is in MAGAville, yeah, I understand what's going on. But you know what? You did it to yourself. So Trump supporters, listen, if you don't like the truth, this is your opportunity to leave. Leave this live right now and go on about your day before I ruin your breakfast, all right? And if you think I'm lying and you say it's not that bad, well, I'll say this. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Right. And so along those lines, ladies and gentlemen, you know my relationship with MAGA, all right? We don't hold anything back when we talk to these Trump supporters anymore. I mean, we do it with love and kindness, you know, because that's how I was raised, you know. But you know, when it comes to dealing with them and giving them the truth, you know, we cannot be kind to MAGA today, okay? Because We used to be kind to him, right, Ange? We used to be kind to MAGA. And again, I used to be a lot kinder 3 weeks ago. The stuff that I've been saying, I wouldn't have said it 3 weeks ago. But we can't be kind anymore because guess what? The gloves are off, right?
Everyone knows and I wouldn't have said this 3 weeks ago.
I wouldn't
I
have.
wouldn't have said it. I was actually very kind to him. I was very kind to him, but now we can't be kind anymore because the gloves are off. The jar has been opened.
The gloves are off and the jar has been opened. And MAGA, you opened the jar, okay? And so, no, I don't feel bad about sending MAGA straight to hell every single morning. They want the ultimate MAGA reward, and I will and shall be giving it to them, all right? So, with that being said, I want to draw your attention, ladies and gentlemen, to something very disturbing going on in the cosmos, all right? And this has to do with Donald Trump embracing one of the so-called reported founders of the BLM movement, right? He spoke with Mark Fisher. This is a couple days ago. And this is what Trump puts on his social media platform. Spoke to Mark Fisher yesterday. A great guy. Very honored to have his and BLM's support. I have done more for black people than any other president. And then he puts Abraham Lincoln in parentheses with a question mark. I don't get that. Including 10-year funding for historically black colleges and universities where they had none, opportunity zones, criminal justice reform, and much more. Thank you, Mark. So when Donald Trump posted this, we see that his supporters, they first of all believe this, right? And so now we're engaging in a bit of another battle with the Trump supporters because you know what they like to say. This is more proof that Donald Trump isn't racist, right? This is what they do. So let me address this before we move on, all right? You know I always have a little bit of a message in the morning to speak before I launch my show. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to address this what I call, this is mass manipulation right here on display. This is Donald Trump pulling at the heartstrings of his supporters. Okay, he knows what notes to hit to get his supporters to send him money. And this is just another fundraising attempt, and I get it. So today I sit here once again with a heavy heart, compelled to address a matter of significance that has unfolded in our nation's political landscape. As we all know, the issue of race, social justice, has been a source of deep division and unrest in our society for far too long. And it is within this context that I feel compelled to express my profound disappointment over recent events involving the former president of the United States, defendant Donald Trump. It has come to my attention that Donald Trump, in a blatant and transparent attempt to gain votes and political favor, sought to embrace the founder of the Black Lives Matter movement. On his social media platform, he has spoken to Mr. Fisher to have obtained not only his support, but also the support of BLM. This calculated and insincere gesture is not only an insult to the genuine struggle for racial equality and justice, but also represents a crass and opportunistic ploy to manipulate the emotions and aspirations of the American people. The Black Lives Matter movement was born out of the urgent need to address systemic racism and the unjust treatment of African Americans in our country. It emerged as a powerful cry for equality and justice, seeking to shine a light on the pervasive discrimination and violence that has plagued our communities for generations. For Mr. Trump to cynically exploit the pain and suffering of millions of Americans for his own political gain is an affront to the very principles of democracy and decency that we all hold dear. Let us be clear. Embracing the founder of the Black Lives Matter movement as a mere political maneuver is an insult. You hear me, MAGA? This isn't a good thing. This is an insult to the millions of individuals who have bravely stood up and spoken out against racial injustice. It diminishes the genuine efforts of activists, community leaders, and concerned citizens who have worked tirelessly to bring about meaningful change and reform. It is a betrayal of the trust and faith that the American people have placed in their leaders to address the pressing issue of our time with integrity and authenticity. We cannot allow our nation's struggle for racial equality and justice to be reduced to mere political theater. We must demand a higher standard of leadership from those who seek to represent us, and we must hold them accountable for their actions, their words, and more. Our democracy thrives on the principles of honesty, empathy, and genuine engagement with concerns of our fellow citizens. Anything less is a disservice to the ideals that have guided our nation through its most challenging moments. So in closing, MAGA and the rest of you, I implore all of us to remain vigilant and discerning in the face of such cynical and self-serving tactics like Donald Trump and MAGA are trying to do with this nonsense. Let us continue to stand united in our commitment to justice and equality, and let's continue to hold our leaders accountable for their actions. So, now that I have addressed this nonsense, and by the way, I did see this Mark Fisher dude get tore up by Roland Martin on YouTube. I did see this. Thank you, Oil Spill, for hosting that live yesterday. I didn't know this happened, but you can go see this guy, Mark Fisher, this so-called founder of the BLM movement, get his behind handed to him by Roland Martin on YouTube. This man doesn't know a thing about black folks. He doesn't know anything about the black community. And he does have black skin, though. But he did a terrible job trying to defend Donald Trump when he compared up the numbers and everything against President Biden. So along those lines, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do bright and early in the morning. I need you to get those tomatoes and those booze and shame ready, because we need to give Donald dangerous, deranged, 91 felony charges, seditionist, treasonous, traitor, fraudster Trump, racist Donald Trump, and Mark Fisher a round of booze and shame, because they thought folks believed what they were doing when they came together and had this nasty meeting, and that somehow this would magically wipe away Donald Trump's sins with black folk, only to have it backfire in their faces and make it worse. Let's give them a daily doses of booze and shame. You cannot make this stuff up, folks. I mean, this is why I'm really at the point with these Trump supporters where I don't really want to hear from them, because I know everything you're going to say before you say it. It's all the same misinformation. I know Southern Firecracker. I know you're out there. I got to make sure I address you, Southern Firecracker. You're giving Zeus a bit of a good idea, so I hope you hear come story time tomorrow, Southern Firecracker, all right? Because, I got to do a story every Friday. And you and your son have, you've made the highlight reel, and now I got to talk about you and your son being some Russian bears, okay? Every one of you Trump supporters, for the most part, I believe you're Russian bears. And so tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we will have story time in the morning, and the story will be called Trump is Your Daddy, okay? And I do hope to see you, Southern Firecracker, all right? Because you are now officially a Russian bear. All right. Now let's move on to our next topic. Listen. Don't get mad at me. These folks came to my kingdom. This guy actually turned around and put a video out, and he said my name at least 50 times. Once you talk about me and my friends, I mean, you know what you know what happens when you do that. You opened up the jar, champ. And by the way, it smells good. All right, you open up the jar, and so now we gotta, give you what you want. All right. And so, with that being said, yes, tomorrow it will be a story about Trump is your daddy. Now let's move on to our first topic. Many of you know one of my favorite things to do, and Nutty has an offer about it. Is we want to help these Trump supporters get to a place of happiness, right? Many of these Trump supporters, they cry and they complain about how President Biden is somehow ruining this country, even though Biden is saving this country. Many of these Trump supporters have money in their bank accounts right now. They're living the good life. All right. For instance, we have a MAGA folk person here. His name is Clickbait. He brags all over the internet. He's worth millions and millions of dollars, right? Drives big pickup trucks, got all the things money can buy. I mean, this guy, and he's MAGA, but he'll get out here on TikTok and start crying about the prices of eggs. He'll start crying about the prices of gas. And I said, Clickbait, wait a second, how can you cry about all these things? And he says, Zeus, this is what he says, I speak for the poor people. Can you all believe this? This is what these Trump supporters do. And I know, this is what they do. They speak for the poor people. And along those lines, they believe President Biden is ruining this country and that Donald Trump can do a better job. And I said, well, if that's the thing you believe, Clickbait, why don't you just do us all a favor and pack your bags and go to Russia, right? Right? So Clickbait, and to all of you Trump supporters, this part is for you. This is for you. Since you don't like the United States and we're helping you get to Russia, I just want you to know this. Russia plans to force foreigners to sign a loyalty agreement before they can enter the country. All right? You know who that is, MAGA. MAGA, is there any Trump supporters out there that want to go to Russia? Please raise your hand. Any of you Trump supporters that would love a free first-class trip to Russia, all expense paid, one-way ticket. Why should you do this? Well, Robert, great question. You should do this because clearly you don't like democracy. You don't think President Biden is doing a good job, right? Right, Robert? You don't think President Biden is doing a great job. So why would you want to stay in the United States? It's like your leader says, right?
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
right?
If you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S.,
right?
If you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Right.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Okay, so listen. Russia plans to make foreigners entering the country sign a, quote, loyalty agreement. And I saw somebody says, if you're not loyal to the U.S., you can leave too. This is what I see you saying, Robert. I mean, it's funny how you picked up on that word loyal, all right? Okay, because I think that's what this is really all about. Okay, the bill, and it seems like you're tapped into what Putin likes, all right? So the bill would ban foreigners from criticizing official policies and Soviet military history, all right? Russia is planning to quell criticism of Vladimir Putin's regime by forcing foreigners entering the country to sign a loyalty agreement, all right? Their Interior Ministry is introducing a draft bill for the loyalty pledge under which foreigners would be prohibited from discrediting the country's domestic and foreign policies and public authorities or government officials. The intent of the draft bill is to protect, quote, Russian national interests. Okay, the bill would ban foreigners from criticizing official policies and Soviet military history. It would also prohibit the promotion of LGBT relations. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what we do is I need you to get those shames and boos together. All right, because it's time to once again show MAGA just how ridiculous they sound out here, trying to turn America into a country like Russia. I just gave them an opportunity to go to Russia. Nutty's been giving them an opportunity to go to Russia. But they won't take us up on our offer, and they won't sign this new proposed loyalty pledge because they are so scared to be with their Lord and Savior, Vladimir Putin, all right? But at the same time, they're still here in the United States terrorizing this country, trying to make it Vladimir Putin's second home, all right? Basically by electing Donald Trump. So let's give MAGA, who we all know are really Russian operatives, all right? Whether they're getting paid by Russia or not, their minds have been scrambled by Putin, all right? Let's give them all another round of boos and shame. You're nothing but seditionists, treasonous traitors. Thank you so much for those gifts. You're nothing but seditionists, treasonous traitors, MAGA. And no, Donald Trump is not my daddy. He's your daddy. And yes, at that South Carolina game, he was booed. All right. And Donald Trump will continue to get booed because nobody likes him. Not even his wife. Not even his children. Think about that, MAGA. Not even Jared Kushner wants to do another round of Donald Trump in the White House. Name one person, MAGA. Think about what I'm saying. Name one person who, after interacting with Donald Trump, came out on top. It doesn't work that way. All right, because you know what comes with Donald Trump. All right? Nothing but losing. All right, speaking of losing, all right, let's talk about you. Okay, tell me how you benefited by being with Donald Trump, please. I would love to hear it. All right, this is a good example of folks in Congress, ladies and gentlemen. This is a MAGA right here. This is someone that's possessed with the MAGA demon, Miss Lauren Boebert. All right, and yesterday, I don't know if you all saw this, but she was in Congress making quite the fool of herself. All right. Because in this exchange, right, she was snapping at a witness with ignorant assumptions during a hearing, only to be reminded that she was completely out of touch with reality and was hit with a bunch of facts, all right? She was trying to tell somebody how to do their job, and they ended up letting Lauren Boebert know, you don't know what the heck you're talking about. Let's give it a listen. All right, let's give it a listen, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Hold on. Pause right there. Let's go. Oh, my goodness.
You all are allowing delinquent employees to sit on their sofas at home instead of actually getting to work and doing their jobs. This is absolutely unacceptable.
So our employees are working whether they are in the office or at home, and they are.
Are you monitoring the work that they are doing from home on a regular basis?
Yes, we are.
Every employee, do you have the numbers of the hours that are submitted? Are you counting how many times they're logging into their computers and responding to casework?
So our employees are subject to the same performance management processes and oversight they are whether they're teleworking or working in an office. And we have systems in place that our managers use to schedule, assign, and track workloads. And that includes individual employee workloads in many cases. So real-time understanding of what actions are being processed at any particular given time. Additionally, our employees are required to be accessible to their supervisors, clients, colleagues, and external parties during work hours via a variety of means, including instant messaging, video platforms, and telephone. They are connected to the workplace, whether they are in the office or at the home.
Then why is the backlogs for Social Security applicants increased from 41,000 to 107,000?
Because we've been historically underfunded for a number of years now.
I don't think you're underfunded. You're funded at the Nancy Pelosi levels. At the Democrat levels, we just continued that same funding.
So I would say
at pandemic level spending.
So I'd say we had an increase of over 8 million beneficiaries over the last 10 years. At the same time, we experienced our lowest work staffing levels at the end of FY22. That's a math problem. I mean, that is a problem. If you have those workloads, increasing, and and you don't have the staff to take care of those workloads, you're going to have the backlogs that you're talking about, Representative.
Well,
whoa! It's that easy, MAGA. All right, so it's that easy, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, what's going on at the Social Security Administration is there's not enough people to get the work done. All right, a lot of folks are retiring. There's not a lot of folks volunteering to work at this place. All right, and Lauren Boebert, in all her brilliance, doesn't understand that and had the audacity to try to make it look like they're not doing their job monitoring what their employees are doing. She tried to call them out, only to be called out herself. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the booze and the shame and the tomatoes ready. No, it's not a lie. What's a lie is you. You are living a lie. Listen, you folks, you MAGA folks, you got a MAGA demon in your mind. And listen to what I'm saying, all right? That MAGA demon allows you to see truth as lies and see lies as truth. Do you understand how nasty this is? You probably look in the mirror and you see yourself, right? A lot of these Trump supporters, you look in the mirror and you see yourself and you say, darn, I look good, right? You think you look good, but then you come out here in the real world and you look real terrible. You look like a mess, right? That's what's going on with you Trump supporters. And so along those lines, I'm going to need you to do me a huge favor. I'm going to need you to sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Miss Lauren Boebert a round of booze and shame, because congratulations, Lauren Boebert. You played yourself once again in front of millions and millions of people, all right? All right. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, how am I looking on time? All right, we're almost there. All right, and then you know what we do after I get done cooking. After I get done cooking up here, right? Then we open up those boxes and let some of the panelists get in the box, and they cook too. I mean, this is one of the best volunteering experiences that I've ever done, because we really care about the United States, isn't that right, Jimmy? We really care about the United States over here on TikTok, and that's why we bring all this truth out here, right? Let us, everyone, go ahead. Democrats, go ahead. Let's give ourselves, anybody that's out here for the truth, go ahead. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. All right, no lies detected, all right? And if you think I'm lying, you're more than welcome to go look up whatever it is I'm covering and say, Zeus, this is what you got wrong. And if I got it wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. And no, Snuggles. Snuggles is not winning, by the way. He's never been winning, if you ask me. All right, let's talk about this topic. Boycott Home Depot. Calls are surfacing online after the co-founder, Bernie Marcus, pledges to support Donald Trump even if Donald Trump is convicted. This is why I don't trust MAGA. All right? Because once you start saying I'm going to vote for Trump if he's convicted or not, whatever you want to dig up on President Biden doesn't even matter anymore, because it doesn't even matter if they're guilty or not. So let's just say they're both criminals. What makes Donald Trump a better criminal than President Biden? I mean, what are we really talking about, MAGA, right? So let's listen to what this guy has to say real quick. I'm not going to hear it all.
Co-founder of Home Depot, and he officially now, you might say it wasn't surprising that he was not going to vote for Joe Biden, but he's officially endorsed Donald Trump. Here's what he had to say on Kudlow.
I watched this guy in the White House. I mean, I can't believe what he does every day. I get up in the morning and I say, what the hell did he do today that's going to destroy America? And he never fails to surprise me. He always comes up with something. And it's never good. He's supposed to represent all people in America, and he doesn't. The poor people and the people that continuously vote that way, which is incredible to me how that happens. But I see them in this last election prove that maybe the American people aren't that smart.
I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there, champ. I can't do another.
Only one out there that I know
hold on a second.
has the experience
I can't do another round of this, all right? Because sometimes when MAGA just goes off on a rant, my brain just checks out, and I'm just like, did you get it all out? So, ladies and gentlemen, here's what's going to happen, all right? Let's just jump straight into what social media had to say about this guy right here and his nonsense, Mr. Bernie, who openly and proudly supporting Donald Trump being a felony. And you know what's so silly about these Trump supporters? They will sit back here, especially these ones like Snuggles, and cry about crime in Chicago, crime in democratic cities. And then at the same time, they will vote for a criminal. Do you understand how ridiculous you look? You can't have your cake and eat it too. Either you are against crime or you're with it. And as far as I am concerned, every single Trump supporter I have ever met stands for crime. So with that being said, once you vote for Donald Trump to be president, you are okay with all criminals. That's how this works, Snuggles. You're okay with, if you want to go and play the little border game and say Mexico and all these other third world countries aren't sending us their best and their brightest, they're sending the criminals, you're okay with that because you vote for criminals. So, yeah. Let's see what they're saying, ladies and gentlemen. They don't listen. I see there's some dissension in the comment section. You come to my live, you get triggered. Did I ruin your breakfast or something? Well, well, good. I wanted to ruin your breakfast because that's nothing compared to what you've done to this country. And I haven't even gotten onto my January 6th type of hype. You know, one of my favorite things to do is to make sure we talk about January 6th, MAGA. You ruined this country. Think about all the people's breakfasts you ruined on January 6th. And that you continue to still ruin. If you don't like the content that I'm making, you know what you can do?
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country.
Right. If you don't like the United States of America, just leave. Now, let's get back to Home Depot with Mr. Bernie. This is what they're saying. Oh my gosh, I'm never shopping at Home Depot again. Who's with me? Home Depot billionaire says he'll continue funding Trump's campaign even if he's convicted. What else do we have here? Home Depot can say goodbye to my business account. You see what happens when you support Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen? It's all downhill from there. Bye, Home Depot. I will never step in any of your stores anymore. Oh yeah. Hello, Lowe's. Glad to give you my business, right? I mean, this is what happens when you choose to support a criminal. MAGA. That's why I say I don't want to hear any crying from you. Last one. We know when billionaires are protecting their money versus genuinely care for the American people. All right? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Let's get those blues and those shames together for Mr. Bernie Marcus because he is going to support Donald Trump, donate his money to Donald Trump's campaign, and he will do whatever he can to support a criminal. All right? But then at the same time, he will sit on his high horse in those ivory towers and say nasty things about so-called Democrat cities being taken over by crime without understanding that he himself is putting the biggest criminal in American history in the White House. Let's give him and MAGA a round of boos and shame. Yeah, this is what happens, MAGA, when you open up the jar. You everything's fair game now, all right? Everything's fair. I don't care about, listen, you can't even talk to me about President Biden and Hillary Clinton committing crimes anymore. Because the moment you bring it up, we're going to say, well, you're voting for a criminal, so what the heck's the problem? At least the criminal you think we got doesn't have any docket numbers, all right? No docket numbers, but you sit out here with docket numbers in your face. These folks see the docket and they go, well, he hasn't been convicted yet. Well, When did he have a trial, Snuggles? All right, now I got some scary news for you Trump supporters. Jimmy, has he been convicted? Jimmy, that's a great question. All right, and I'm going to ask this question, Jimmy. How does a person end up getting convicted? Can you clearly and articulately explain the steps that it takes for a person to be legally convicted? All right, and then Jimmy, I want you to explain to us where Donald Trump is in that process. As a matter of fact, I want you to can you go draw us up a Venn diagram or a bit of a diagram? All right. And I want you to do this, Jimmy, please, because maybe you can do it in a way your friends can understand. Diagram steps 1 through, let's just make it a 10-step thing. All right. And I want you to tell us the beginning is start, the end is finish. And when we get to finish, that means Donald Trump's being convicted. I want you to make sure you point out all the steps it takes for Donald Trump to get convicted, and then give that to us. All right. We'll review it. We'll make sure it's accurate, and then we'll give it back to you. And you can then, I'll give you one more opportunity to show us how intelligent you are. Tell us where Donald Trump is in those steps. All right. Because I think once you see that information, you will never ask the question, has he been convicted? You'll never ask that question again once you see where what the steps are and where he's at in the process. All right? Now listen, I should just open up a tutoring shop for MAGA. I should open up a tutoring shop for these Trump supporters, right? Because it's very clear these folks are not as smart as they appear to be. All right? So let's move on to some scary business for you Trump supporters, all right? Oh my gosh. This is something that when I read this, I chuckled when I read this, all right? Should I turn myself in tonight? You know what happened? You know what happens, right? Hold on. We're
Jack Smith.
Oh crap. Who?
Jack Smith.
Oh, you know who that is, MAGA? Jack Smith. Unsealed Trump insurrection warrant shows the government wanted information on any likes Trump's tweets got.
Jack Smith.
It's truly a war on Trump and anyone who supports him. This is what the Trump supporters are saying now. Supporters of former President Trump are outraged after learning that the federal government may know whether they liked any of former President Donald Trump's tweets, despite that information being public. An uproar began this week after the former president's fans began discussing several redacted documents from the United States Department of Justice outlining the search warrant for Trump's account on Twitter. The warrant is linked to Special Counsel
Jack Smith
investigation into the January 6th Capitol riot and the efforts to overturn the 2020 election. A section of the warrant notes that the DOJ sought all lists of Twitter users who have favorited or retweeted tweets and posts by the account, as well as mentions and replies that contain Trump's username, asking for essentially anything from Donald Trump's notification tabs. The warrant was immediately decreed as an overly broad and dystopian by Trump fans online, including Marjorie Taylor Greene. She says, "It's truly a war on Trump and anyone who supports Trump," she wrote. "Republicans must recognize the extreme nature of the politically weaponized DOJ and do everything they can to stop it." You know what? So, you know what the time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get those boos and those shames and those tomatoes together, all right? Once again, for Donald Trump and his supporters. Because once again, the supporters pledging their loyalty to Donald Trump, they have outed themselves to Jack Smith and the DOJ, only to find themselves possibly, once again, having problems with the DOJ and the FBI, knowing Donald Trump will never, ever, ever come to their rescue, even though they sent him all their money. Let's give Donald Trump and his supporters another round of boos and shame. All right, now we got a couple more topics, and then we open up those boxes. All right, hear from those of you who are brave enough to enter the box. All right, this is just something I'm going to quickly touch on. Donald Trump has agreed to enhanced monitoring in his civil fraud case after roughly $40 million in undisclosed cash transfers. All right, and this is I did a video about this. His money is supposed to be monitored by a court-appointed judge. All right, HVAC, this is for you. I know you like to debate liberals, but you might want to keep this in your mind, in your toolbox. Former President Donald Trump and his co-defendants in his civil fraud trial are under enhanced monitoring after failing to disclose 3 transfers of cash adding up to $40 million. Those unreported transfers, including $29 million to the former president for tax payments, all right, insurance premiums, and a $5.5 million cash payment in lieu of a bond allowing Trump to appeal the E. Jean Carroll sexual assault judgment, according to the filing. All right, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, now that Donald Trump is once again under these enhanced monitorings, all right, through this bad behavior that he's been continuing, let's give Donald Trump another round of boos and shame. We're going to give him a round of boos and shame because he thought he could get away with it once again. He thought he could move millions and millions of dollars only to once again get caught. All right, so let's give him another round of boos and shame. Listen, I see there's some dissension in the comment section.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Goodbye.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
You can leave, MAGA. Really. By the way, I haven't asked this earlier. I haven't asked this question yet. Where are my manners? Is there anybody in the comment section, any of you forcing Donald Trump and his supporters to stay here in the United States? By a show of hands, are any of you out there forcing MAGA to stay here? I'm just curious. Anybody out there? You see that? Nope. Oh, we have bad views. Oh. See, bad views, you're trolling, okay? Because I know good and well you can't afford to force MAGA to stay here. What are you doing, bad views, to force them to stay here? Look at the real people who are being truthful. No, nobody is forcing you to stay here in the United States. So why are you here? Why don't you just go be with your Lord and Savior, Vladimir Putin? Right? All right, now let's wrap this morning show up with one of my favorite topics to cover. All right, and this is serious. Many of you know that one of my favorite signature things to do is to cover what happened to those seditionists, treasonous traitors. All right, those who engaged in that riot on January 6th, the riot that the MAGA folk like to call a peaceful protest or a tourist visit, or as Charlemagne the God branded, the riot led by the mayonnaise mafia, the mayonnaise mafia. All right, now one thing President Biden always, he always speaks very direct when he's referring to MAGA. But I want to make sure I get everyone in the right mood before I go into this story, all right? So let's say...
MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. They refuse to accept the results of a free election. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. And they see their MAGA failure to stop a peaceful transfer of power after the 2020 election as preparation for the 2022 and 2024 elections.
Exactly. January 6th was Donald Trump and MAGA's practice run at trying to overthrow the government. That was a practice run. And if they get another chance to do it, they will. And so because I understand that, I'm going to have to do what I do. Proud Boy, January 6th defendant who shot at law enforcement is sentenced to prison. All right. Nathan, a member of the Proud Boys who stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021, and shot at law enforcement officers this year after the FBI asked him to surrender, was sentenced to 2 years in federal prison yesterday. Nathan Pelham of Texas pleaded guilty to a federal felony charge of possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. All right. U.S. District Judge Ed Kinkead of Northern District of Texas imposed the sentence according to the court records. An FBI special agent had said Pelham was informed of the Capitol attack charges on April 12th. Federal court records show that Pelham's case was not initially placed under seal, as criminal cases most always are, until law enforcement executes a search warrant. Local authorities went to Pelham's home that night after his father requested a welfare check, according to the filing. Pelham fired several shots towards the law enforcement officials. The FBI special agent said none of those officers said a shot came. One of the officers said a shot came in so close proximity to myself that I could hear the distinct whistling sound as the bullet traveled by me and then strike a metal object to my right. Wow. Whatever happened to backing the blue? MAGA doesn't back the blue. MAGA votes for criminals. So that's clearly MAGA attacking the blue. Pelham was sentenced to time served by the U.S. District Judge John D. Bates in his January 6th case in September. Prosecutors said Pelham was dishonest with law enforcement, both before and after his arrest, and what he did at the Capitol. All right. Prosecutors said in January 6th case, Pelham was apparently drunk when he shot several rounds on April 12th. According to a subpoena police reports, Pelham called his wife, told her goodbye. This is what MAGA does. He called his wife, told her goodbye, and said he planned to make the police shoot him. Pelham paced outside holding a gun and yelling at police. He eventually went back inside and fired the gun several times. For their own safety, police left the property that night and let Pelham sleep off his drunkenness. He surrendered at the local police station on April 14th. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we got another seditionist, treasonous traitor arrested, convicted, and sentenced. So join me in first, let's give him a round of booze and shame. Let's give him his daily dose of booze and shame. And because he wanted to go out the old-fashioned way, let's send him off the old-fashioned way.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You hear that, MAGA? You do not represent our country. You are, as Donald Trump just said, an intruder. You committed heinous acts of violence. That's why we say you're domestic terrorists. You don't represent our country. And yes, you will pay. You want to fight for Donald Trump so bad? Well, Nathan, I hope you're fighting in a jail cell tonight for Donald Trump. You ain't going to be fighting the fight you thought you would be fighting. You're going to be fighting a different fight, champ. Attacking law enforcement? Getting drunk? Telling your wife nasty things? Yeah. This is why I do what I do. It's because I understand it's a strong, demonic MAGA force that's taken over the minds of many of you Trump supporters. And you see right as wrong and wrong as right. You're completely deranged, unhinged. All right? So enjoy, Nathan. Enjoy that jail cell that you're going to be sharing with other Trump supporters. All right? Because you do not represent the United States of America at all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the morning show. Let's open up these boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth. All right, it's like my grandmother always says, tell the truth. What? And shame the devil. All right. All right. And see, this is the problem. You know, a lot of people think, well, Zeus, why don't you ever let opposition up in the box? A lot of people think I should let opposition up in the box. And I have to tell people why I don't like arguing with Trump supporters, because it's like whenever I talk to a Trump supporter, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell the conversation isn't going anywhere. We're not even going to get to a place of mutual understanding and agreement. Yesterday, we had a Trump supporter in the box, all right? He lied right in my face. After we agreed to do something, he lied right in my face. But that's typical MAGA behavior. I'm not upset about it. I expect nothing less when dealing with MAGA. But I said I want you Trump supporters to understand why I don't like to argue with a lot of you sometimes. Because it's like a conversation you know that's not going anywhere, right? Have you ever had one of those conversations and you're like, this clearly isn't going anywhere, all right? And I said, you know, what is it like, ladies and gentlemen, when you argue with a Trump supporter? What is it like? I'll tell you what it's like. It's like, you ever had one of these cars? You ever hear one of these cars, ladies and gentlemen, and you could just tell by the way that car sounded that this car was no good? You ever heard one of those cars say, you know, that's pretty much what it's like talking to a Trump supporter, right? Hey! Slow up! Subscribe! MAGA cult! HVAC Bushmaster clickbait. Cut that mess off. Cut that thing off. That car sounds terrible. What in the world? When was the last time that thing had a tune-up? You know, you got to put spark plug, distributor cap, rotors. Maybe you want to pour some fuel injector cleaner in that thing. I mean, goodness gracious. That car sounds like it needs the hands of God placed on it. All right, listen, I get it. It got power windows, power door lights, and a windshield. And it even got windshield wipers. And it got headlights too. Listen, champ, that's standard on all models. That's nothing to brag about. That car sounds like it's in terrible shape if you ask me. That car sounds like it needs the hands of God on that engine, right? And just like that, you Trump supporters, you need the hands of God on your MAGA minds. And you need that MAGA demon cast out of you, all right? So that you can actually walk in truth, walk in light, and get out of darkness. I don't want your MAGA voodoo on me. Absolutely not. All right? You keep the MAGA voodoo. And you tell me, if you can find me one Trump supporter that's thriving and doing great, I'll be impressed. I definitely will. All right, let's bring up our first guest, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my buddy, new ultra anti-MAGA. All right, good morning. There's a
Hello,
lot.
hello.
There's a lot going on back there. All right. I think it's clearer now. All right. Good
Okay,
morning,
good.
my good friend. This is our first time doing business, so I got to ask you some questions. All right.
Oh, I've been on before under a different. This is my backup account, but sure, go ahead.
Oh well, which account do you normally use? We can get straight into it.
Yeah, I was on a while ago. You probably don't remember me, so
Oh, okay.
it's fine.
Well, no, I mean, did you pass the questions or not?
I don't know. Let's do the questions. I'm excited.
Okay. Let's see. First question: in your opinion, did President Biden steal the 2020 election?
No.
All right. All right. Next question. In your opinion, who would you say is responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th?
Space lasers? No, just kidding. Donald Trump.
Okay. Fair enough. Last and final question. Do you think President Biden or Hillary Clinton are guilty of any crimes?
Caring about this country too much.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Just kidding.
All right,
No,
you passed. All right.
Thank you.
All right, now what do you got for us this bright and early, my friend?
Okay, well, I don't know if you happen to have a picture of that person who was arrested from January 6th in front of you?
The one I was just talking about?
Yes.
Yes, I just showed the picture.
Oh, I missed it. I'm working.
Oh,
Is he a YT person?
yeah, yeah.
I guessed, but I just want to make sure. I just want to say, like, for people who say that white privilege doesn't exist, that's the most egregious example of white privilege I ever heard. You stormed the Capitol, got to walk away, you went home, got drunk and shot at cops, and they're like, "Oh, we'll be back tomorrow."
Right.
Just could you imagine a Black Lives Matter
Oh.
supporter doing that stuff?
Oh,
Man.
I read that story and I said, what? Only 2 years? I mean, they said, you know what, pal, we're going to let you cool off and we'll be back in the morning. And then he turned himself in.
Right. There is, and I'm going to jump off here right after this, but there is a person named Jaleel, Jaleel, Jaleel Stallings, just like it sounds. He's in Minneapolis, and after George Floyd was unalived, he was standing around in a parking lot. He wasn't out in public, he wasn't out in public after curfew. He was standing in a private parking lot, and he was allowed to be there. He's a veteran. He had concealed carry permit. The cops pulled up and unloaded beanbags and stuff at him. Right?
Why?
Because this is a great story. People should just Google Jaleel Stallings. But yeah, the cops that night had said on their camera, we're going out hunting for protesters.
Wow.
They're trying to blame this on YT supremacists. Let's show them who's really the problem. Anyway,
Wow.
they're ridiculous. So anyway, they unloaded all these they just pulled up in an unmarked van, a white van, started firing from their van. Jaleel Stallings takes cover behind a car and returns fire, shoots at the ground, right, to scare him off.
Right.
The cops jump out. Oh, sorry, that beep. The cops jump out of the car, beat him senseless, kick him in the head and stuff like that.
Right.
Then charge him with attempted unaliving of police officers. And he took it all the way to court, refused to settle, was found not guilty by a jury of his peers, and they had to pay a settlement to him. So, yeah, Jaleel Stallings, people can look it up. It's a hell of a story, and that's pretty much all I got.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to look it up, and I appreciate your insight about what that is, all right? Because, there's a lot of these stories out here that don't get shared and told, right? And it's important that we give them the respect and the proper respect that they deserve. All right, my friend?
You're welcome. Hey, yes, and have a good day. I know you were about to say thank you. That's why I said you're welcome.
Oh,
all right,
okay.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Oh, my God. No problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to our good friend, Ultra Anti-MAGA. No lies detected. Oh my gosh. There's always something interesting. But yeah, he's totally right. Jaleel Stallings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Miss Boss Diva. Jaleel Stallings. Yeah, these January Sixers are benefiting from a two-tier justice system. I guarantee it. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring up our next panelist. All right, good morning, Gina. Nice to see you. How are you doing?
I'm trying to.
This is a cute thing going.
We got it.
Uh-oh. How are they doing? Uh-oh.
Did you hear that?
What did he say? I couldn't hear it.
Good morning, handsome Zeus.
Hey.
Vote for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, 2024 for president and vice president. That's
Hey. I love it. Handsome Zeus. You see that, Nutty Professor? Even the dogs understand it, Nutty.
2024 for president and vice president. Yeah, we came to say. Wait, one more message. Trump's going to prison. Did you hear that?
I could barely make it out.
Press it again. Trump's going to prison. Trump's
going to prison. No lies detected. The dogs aren't lying. Look at these folks. They had the audacity to say the dogs are lying. MAGA, have you lost your mind?
They have lost their mind.
Wow. It is so amazing, and they look so cute. Oh my god.
They always love your show.
Wow,
Sometimes they're too busy to come on because, but we appreciate you bringing us up.
Oh, you're welcome at any time, all right?
So what else is going on? I'm just...
Did you want to mention anything about, what's been going on in the world of politics while you're up here? I mean, you still got some time.
Yes. Save our democracy. Did you hear that?
Save our democracy. Yes.
The MAGAs hate my dogs. I just don't know why. I wish they would just see the light.
Yeah. Well, why do you think they won't see the light? What's going on in MAGAville?
I don't know. I don't get it. He lies at every. I mean. Vote for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, 2024 for president and vice president. Even Democrats bashing Joe Biden. I went to someone's live. They really made me mad.
Whoa.
In my opinion, I'm not voting for him. He's doing all these bad things. I'm like, what is he doing that's so bad? He's doing his job.
Right.
I just don't understand.
They just make it up as they go. It's all about them being selfish. I didn't realize that this selfishness spirit it's also in the Democrat Party at times. Right? It can be anywhere. There's no limits to where the spirit of selfishness can dwell, but it's definitely in MAGA. But we got it going on in the Democrat Party as well. If they believe that sitting out and allowing Donald Trump to get into the White House is a good idea, that's a selfish idea.
Exactly. It hurts me, and they just don't want to listen. And I don't want to be bossy, but it's bigger than all of us. It's bigger. It's way bigger.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all presidents have gone to wars and done things that they had to do for our country and for humanity. And I know there's bad things going on, but it's not all Biden's fault.
Correct.
And I'm like so sick of people blaming him when it's the whole world, and it's sad. Right. I just can't even.
Well, just hang in there. We will, we will overcome. I have a very, very strong belief that we will, because eventually reality will set in. Donald Trump's true nature will continue to reveal itself, and they'll be forced to do the right thing. I have no doubts about that. All right.
I hope so. I'm praying every day and hoping everyone just sending out the message like you are.
I will. All right.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Spencer, Cooper, Pepper, Dexter, Gina. Ladies and gentlemen. No lies.
Bye.
Bye-bye. No lies detected. All right. You see, ladies and gentlemen, even the dogs know the truth. MAGA, what's your excuse? Do you need some treats? Is that what this is about? I can give you some treats, MAGA, if that's what it takes for you to stop supporting Donald Trump because it's not that difficult. All you got to do is want to do the right thing. It's very clear you Trump supporters don't want to do the right thing at all. All right, all right. And I see that we have a bear in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a bear in the building.
Hold on, hold on. You poke the bear. You poke the bear. You're gonna get the bear.
Oh yeah, we catching bears over here, ladies and gentlemen. And any of you Trump supporters, you definitely are in this kingdom. You're nothing but Russian bears, Russian assets. All right, of Vladimir Putin. It's simple. All right, let's bring up our next panelist. Oh my gosh! Good morning, Nutty Professor. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing well.
Oh,
There's a couple things that I want to ask you about.
okay.
The anti MAGA guy, he was correct about Jaleel. That is a very interesting story. So I do absolutely agree with him. Y'all should go read up on that story.
Okay. Yeah, I got it queued up over here. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
some
yeah.
research.
So the Republicans, they keep talking for the last 10 months, for the last 14 months. They've been railing against Hunter Biden, and
Right.
so finally he gets a subpoena to testify in front of Congress. But yet now that they've publicly said all of these things about this man, now they want him to testify in private. And his attorney was like, "Oh hell no!"
Right.
He's like, "We will comply with the subpoena, but we're going to do it in public." And so now they're whining and saying, "Oh, this is not how we do it. You do it the way we want to do it." And he's like, "No, if you want my client to be there, we're going to do it publicly."
Right.
So, Republicans, I ask you this. Why is it that your people want him to testify behind closed doors? You keep saying the man's a drug addict. You keep saying he's guilty. You keep saying that Joe Biden is guilty in proximity to his son. So why don't you want the American people to see his testimony? Can you please answer that question for me? I know you.
MAGA. Any answers, MAGA? Why don't we want to see? Why don't you want to see Hunter Biden testify in public?
So,
They
but
don't
another
have any answers.
They don't. So Georgia passed a law that gives the state legislature the authority to remove any district attorney that they deem is not doing their jobs, right?
Right.
So the Georgia Supreme Court has blocked that law.
Oh.
The Georgia Supreme Court has blocked that law.
Oh.
Uh,
What does that mean?
well, it means it ain't going nowhere unless they go back and deal with the issues that the Georgia Supreme Court stated on its implementation.
Right.
So, they're back to square one, and they did
Wow.
to go after Miss Fawny because she was going after their orange Jesus. So, but on from there. So, Zeus, listen.
Right.
I heard you mention my name. I heard you mention my names with the little dogs,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. 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 They said something about Zeus being.
but, but Zeus, consider the source. They're dogs. So if you want to take the word of a dog, that's on you, bro. That's on you. They're dogs.
Nutty. Nutty. You once again may have slipped and fell. Maybe did something
No,
happen?
listen.
Oh, Nutty, time's up, buddy.
Yeah, time's up, but I'm a nutty up alive. So
You,
so
you
what's
going
going?
after the dogs? You're saying the
No, no,
dogs
no,
are
no, no, no.
liars,
I'm not,
Nutty?
no, I'm not going. Well, they are liars today, but I'm not going after the dogs.
Oh, wow. You have
What
no shame.
what is
Wow.
going what is going on with our friend, the one with the chia pet on his face?
Southern Firecracker.
Yeah, I just call him chia pet because he's got a whole chia pet right on his face.
I'm gonna.
So
I made an executive decision. I saw that he did another video, and this time his son appeared in the video, right? And
yeah,
I said, now I think that's a bridge too far for Zeus, because when I get the Pappy and the Sonny, when I get them both together, I said, now that's a bridge too far. There's a lot going on right there. What the heck is going on? So I said, I'm gonna have to leave that alone. It looks nasty over there.
yeah. Well, everybody in your live yesterday heard when T was in the live. T
Mm-hmm.
was, I'll just host a live, and he gave him options. He said,
Right.
whenever you're ready, I will do it around your time. Did we not agree, or did he not agree that to T when he said 8 p.m.?
Yes, he agreed.
Well, Snuggles got to him, and so now so Snuggles said, well, they're just gonna they're just gonna pile up on you, and what they did to you in Zeus's life was not fair, and
Yeah.
Zeus,
The
and this is
MAGA
what Snuggles.
victim card. The MAGA
So
victim card.
Zeus is like Zeus. Zeus is well. Your friend Snuggles said Zeus is just doing nothing but race baiting.
Yeah.
So you've been accused of race baiting
Right,
because
but
not to mention their
we
own.
know every MAGA accusation is a MAGA confession, right?
Correct.
It's
So
not what they call you, it's what you respond to, correct?
he's saying that we're lying about everything. He's saying that he never agreed to that. I'm like, bro, 800 people saw it.
Yeah.
That's the definition of gaslighting,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So, but
Well,
anyway,
well, you're
hey man,
right. You're right, Nutty, to definitely bring that front and center to all of us in the kingdom because we can't have lies and misinformation circulating around in here, right?
well, you know what? Listen, we joke around a lot, but I'm really going to take a page out of your book.
What's
I'm going to
that?
take a page out of your book. Some battles just aren't worth fighting.
Yeah, yeah. We get nothing. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're winning, right? Is that what they're saying? They're winning.
Well, he said it again. He's like, well, Snuggles is winning. Snuggles is winning. He is so far down Snuggles' little PP. It's ridiculous. I thought y'all was just on Trump's PP. Now he's on Snuggles' PP. But it's good. Listen, if that's if that's what makes you happy,
Think about it,
if you
Nutty.
like
I
it,
mean,
I love it.
you and I, we're both two fairly handsome gentlemen, correct?
Well, absolutely. I look better, of
Could
course.
you
Yeah.
imagine him and Snuggles at a nightclub or something, trying
Oh
to,
my.
get
My.
attention from someone interested that they're interested? It would be
Oh
the
my.
funniest thing ever, and that's what gives me joy. That's what really gives me joy. I imagine him and Snuggles together at a nightclub, trying to, date, and just going home real sad.
Right. So, so y'all know that
Oh
the
my
commercial.
god.
Every time I hear his voice now, I just think of Chia, the pottery that
Oh!
really grows,
Oh my god. Oh my
because it's all over
god.
his face. Listen, man, have a wonderful. What's today? Thursday. Have a wonderful
Today's
Thursday, my brother.
Thursday. All right. You too,
Have a
Mr.
wonderful
Professor.
Thursday.
All right, Nutty Professor. All right, ladies and
Because I
gentlemen.
actually got to go teach a class. So y'all have a
Okay.
good day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Nutty Professor. Oh yeah, I mean, people are always going to say things on social media to try to get Zeus activated, but you got to try harder than that, MAGA, because I've been debunking MAGA lies for quite a while. There's not a lie, there's not a bit of misinformation that MAGA can supply me in 2023 that I'm going to bite. Absolutely not. If, like I said, this all started with me. I used to be a lot kinder to these Trump supporters. Many of you know this. I used to be a lot kinder. We used to go in there, we used to talk. But I said, what is there to really talk about? Biden beat Donald Trump fair and square in 2020. All right? Next thing you know, Donald Trump and his supporters, they're attacking our democracy. They're climbing all over the walls. They're storming the capitals. Ashley Babbitt ends up losing her life. All right. And you would have thought this would have been the point where they said, okay, guys, let's stop and calm down a second and recalibrate. No, what does MAGA do? They figured out a way to paint themselves as victims. I mean, you can literally a MAGA. This is what MAGA does. You shouldn't jump into the ocean without a life jacket, right? Because if you do, even if you're a good swimmer, you can still drown. These Trump supporters, they will jump into the ocean and drown, and guess what? They'll blame the ocean. They'll blame the ocean. Right, Rick? They'll blame these Trump supporters. They will go to hell because they're on their way to hell. I say the ultimate MAGA reward is jail and hell. These Trump supporters, this is how ridiculous they are. They will sit here on earth professing to be Christians, right? Read the Bible, 66 chapters, plus there's some extra books out there in case you might feed you a little interest. They'll read the Bible and live a life of sin. Go straight to hell, and then they'll be in hell when, because they'll see Trump brand all across the gates of hell. They'll see Trump brand right there. They'll be down there in hell, and why are you here? You know what these Trump supporters will do? They will turn around and blame God and Jesus, right? MAGA, they'll blame Jesus for why they're in hell, right? We've seen this over and over with Donald Trump and his supporters because there's something wrong with them. They got a handicap or something where when it's time to take accountability, they can't do it. No, Jay Bear, you can't. Look at you. You don't want to take accountability, Jay Bear. You want to blame Zeus. What would you blame Zeus for, Jay Bear? Seriously, I haven't done anything except tell you and your MAGA friends, who we all know have the MAGA demon, the truth. What could you blame me for? There's nothing you can sit back and point to and say because of that. Because Zeus said this, it would have to be something I said, right? Because we've never interacted in real life, right? Oh, wait a second, Jimmy. What did you say? I can answer it. It's lie deceiving. What lies? What lies have I told? Because see, the thing is, Jimmy, when we start talking about lies around here, you got to tell the truth, right? And Jimmy, let's be honest. There's one person that you worship that tells way more lies than anyone we've ever seen, and it's Donald Trump. You do know that, right, Jimmy? You do know Donald Trump's a liar, right? Oh my gosh. I mean, why do you think Melania is nowhere? Oh, when I open my mouth, wow, that's such a. Why do you think Melania is nowhere to be found? Where's Melania at, Jimmy? Where's his children at? How come they don't want to do round 2 of Donald Trump in the White House? They should be out here on the campaign trail. Why are you going harder than his wife and his kids? All right. Oh, she was at a funeral. Jay Bear, how long is the funeral? Seriously. Their dad, the patriarch, he's on his way to prison for the rest of his natural life. There's a funeral, all right, she should be at, and it should be her funeral because her marriage is dead. The marriage is dead right now. You do know that, Jay Bear. The marriage is dead. All right, let's bring up our next guest, ladies and gentlemen. I guess they didn't want to join the box. All right, listen, Snuggles. I know you want to talk to Zeus. All right, listen, champ. But I'm going to spare you. All right, because see, when you bring that MAGA force into this kingdom, what ends up happening, Snuggles, is you get reported. All right, so this is not a safe space for Snuggles quite yet. All right, and you know I can say this to you because I'm your big brother. You got a lot of apologizing to do, Snuggles. All right. Now let's bring up. Oh, we got. Oh, there he is, Theodore. You're back, Snuggles. Do you want to apologize? How about that? We'll start there. Theodore, greetings. How are you?
Good morning, Zeus. How are you, dude?
I'm all right. This is our first time doing business, huh?
Yes, long-time listener, first-time caller. So thanks for having me on the panel.
Well, it's a great day for you to be up here. All right. So I got to ask you some questions that matter. All right.
Sounds good.
Fair enough. In your opinion, did President Biden steal the 2020 election?
Absolutely not. He wanted.
Thank you for at least being honest today, this morning. That's something that's missing in this country, wouldn't you say?
Honesty, integrity, and common decency. Yes, at the moment that is definitely missing, especially in the political landscape. It's unfortunately, it's a bit sad that despite what the facts may be, despite what the truth may be, and when folks are presented with that, there's a bit of delusion in their mind, primarily on the right. And this does exist on the left, don't get me wrong, but primarily on the right. And it's just so sad. It doesn't matter that presidents don't actually dictate our grocery prices. It does not matter that the presidents don't dictate our gas prices. When we present these facts and what the truth is, they don't care. And that's so sad. It's education. We need to fix education for this country.
Yeah, no lies detected. All right, let's move on to our next question, and then we'll open it up to what you wanted to talk about. Because I do three questions. The second question: who would you say is responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th? And I want you to know there's Trump supporters in here. All right, I don't think that should change your answer, but there's some Trump supporters in here. Who
I
would you
would
say?
say it's primarily the self-proclaimed provocateur. Who was it? Was Roger Stone. I'm sure Barron has some responsibility to that. And then Trump, because like he just went along with it to maintain power and just tried to just maintain power and stay in office.
Good answer. So just to clear things up, you don't think Nancy Pelosi or Ray Epps are responsible for the attack on the Capitol?
Not at all. Not at all. Ultimately, that even if Nancy Pelosi had the power to call in the National Guard, ultimately Trump had that ability as well. So why that detail is always omitted or completely obscured is beyond me. I mean, we know why they're doing it, but it's just sad.
Right. All right. Well, last and final question, my good friend.
Yes.
Do you think President Biden or Hillary Clinton are guilty of any crimes?
No, they have not been charged for anything. They have not been convicted for anything. So how can either of them be a criminal in any sense? And that includes Obama.
Oh, he said that includes Obama. All right, Theodore. I gotta
But
give you
who
a good
has
follow.
been charged? Trump. Who has lost court cases? Trump. So is he not the criminal? But yet they attribute all of these negativities to the some Democratic folks. So again, they're just projecting. It's completely sad. We have excellence on the Democratic side with Obama, with Kamala, with Michelle, et cetera, et cetera.
Michelle Obama, yeah.
They're not perfect, but we have excellence, or people striving for excellence. And then on the right, specifically the strand on the right that is MAGA, just those folks in particular, it's just people who unfortunately are willfully ignorant, who don't strive for excellence in education or critical thinking. And we have to get better. We all have to get better. Like, they're still Americans too, so I want them to get better.
You hear that? You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Listen, thank you so much. So, what is your opinion about these Trump supporters who want to vote for Donald Trump even though he gets convicted? There's a lot of Trump supporters out there saying they'll still vote for him. What do you think of that?
So part of Trump's messaging in 2016 and in his attempt for re-election in 2020 was law and order. So if they're saying that they don't mind that he has been charged, that he's already lost court cases, then they're just hypocritical. And it's part of the delusion. If we all saw what happened on January 6th, we all saw how Trump is doing with his 91 indictment. So if they're saying that they don't care, then the issue isn't really about policy or what the laws are, or what the truth is. It's about something else. And I'm not going to say what the elephant in the room is, but I think we all know what I'm alluding to, and that's what I think. I think it's just maintaining power, maintaining some form of supremacy, and maintaining some form of. They see a cultural identity with Trump.
I mean, this is fascinating because you're going into my I guess the one other topic I wanted to explore with you. All right, which is, on the right, they say that President Barack Obama is the most divisive president in U.S. history. You ever heard
Now
that?
that is not true, because what was Obama's messaging in 2008? Let's all form a cross political coalition of Republicans, Independents, Democrats. It doesn't matter if you're white or black or brown or what have you. Obama's messaging was always a cross a coalition across all groups. It was never about all white. It was never about all black. And for the folks that think, oh my goodness, Obama's only elected because of all the blacks, all the African Americans that voted for him. Most people that voted for Obama were Caucasian. Most people who donated to Obama's campaign were Caucasian. Also, since Obama's half black and half white, wouldn't all the whites have voted for Obama too? Like, the logic does not make any sense. It's just foolishness.
Wow. Tell them. So you're basically saying it's all BS what they're conjuring up over there on the right.
They know it's BS.
Who would you say is the most divisive president before we wrap this up, in your opinion?
Oh, the most well, honestly, like it's literally anyone that uses these wedge social racial issues to maintain and or gain power. This has been going on since the 1800s. So who was the first African American senator? It was, I
Right.
believe, Kelso Blanche, elected 1871. He married a
Right.
socialite wife. It was talked about in the New York Times during that time period. And when he became elected fair and square, guess who did not want to like actually
Okay.
guess who did not want to actually uh, um, have him serve. It was the conservative branch during that time. So there's no. This is nothing new. Divisive
Amen.
politics has been in the United States for over a century and longer. So
Fair
to say
enough.
Obama's divisive over who exactly? It seems like there's a reaction to him being in office versus him being divisive to anyone.
Oh, that's what they mean. He's the one that made them upset the most because he
And
was president.
And look
Wow.
and look what we have. We have some troll comments. We have some insecure people in the comments calling Michelle Obama out of her name. Michelle Obama went to Harvard. Now, what school did you go to, Nikki? Michelle Obama was the first lady of the United States. Nikki, who are you? Nikki, I don't even know who you are. So not to go off on Nikki because there are a lot of folks echoing Nikki's sentiment, but what I'm getting at is we have class and then we have the opposite, and the opposite is supporting MAGA.
Well, there you go, Theodore. Listen, I gave you a follow, my good friend, and I do hope to see you around in the kingdom. Keep up the great work, all right?
Thanks, man. Thank you, Zeus. Bye, all.
All right, all right, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Theodore. He got in the box and he was cooking. I mean, listen, when folks get in here sometimes and they start cooking like that, you just gotta let them keep doing what they do. Obama was not the most divisive president. That's what we gotta understand, ladies and gentlemen. And MAGA, you would agree if you would open up your MAGA minds for once. All right, please stop listening to Snuggles. Jesus Christ. All right. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Shay. How are you?
Hey,
How are
good
you
morning,
doing?
everyone. Good
Good
morning.
morning, the beautiful Shay.
Good
How's it
morning. Good
going?
morning. Oh my goodness. Yes, these people are really butthurt. It's really interesting. I don't know about you, but I never go into opposing lives and just make a bunch of stupid comments. Like
No.
I don't understand that. I really don't. The trolling is real, like from the right. It's insane. Like I just I'm like you're not saying anything important, and especially when you start saying silly stuff against Michelle and Barack, you just show who you are.
Right.
You know, yes, a heightened amount of division
R-
showed up because of Barack because he was the first black president. That's why.
Amen. Amen.
That's why. That's what y'all. That's what everyone's like. Oh, racial tensions grew under Barack Obama. It's all his fault. Yeah, because white people didn't like having a black president. Yeah,
Oh.
that's how that works. That's how that works.
Oh. I thought
Yeah.
they said they're not racist. A lot of these folks say they're not racist. So what's the
Oh
issue
yeah.
with Obama?
I mean, do you know any racists that come out and say I'm racist? I've not met one yet.
Uh,
I have not met one yet.
well, okay, let's try this. Is there any of you in the comment sections that are racist and proud of it? Raise your hand.
Oh yes.
Let's do it like that. Perhaps, I mean, just
Maybe,
go ahead.
maybe I'm wrong.
Tell the truth
Prove
and
me,
shame the
prove
devil.
me wrong. Prove me wrong. I want to
Yeah.
see it. Just admit it and see if you would ever admit it.
Any of you racist and proud of it? Go ahead, raise your hand.
Just see. Is Rosebud here? Let's see. Anybody? Anybody?
Well, you know it's so funny. It got real quiet in the comments, huh?
There we have it. Yeah,
Well,
people don't admit that. They don't want to wear that on their
someone
sleeve.
said MAGA and proud. Does MAGA mean racist? When you say MAGA and proud, does that mean MAGA's racist? Who wrote that? I'm not quite. Well, you mean you're not quiet? Right?
Quite. That's like saying I'm half pregnant or I'm sort of pregnant.
Oh, okay, Emma. Emma, you cleared that up. So MAGA doesn't mean racist. Then why did you say I'm MAGA and proud? I don't get why you responded that way if it didn't answer the question I was originally asking. Please make that make sense. All right, and Brian, you said you are quite. You're quite what? I'm sorry, Shay. I didn't mean
No,
to.
no, please do. No, this is fun. I really didn't have a lot to say tonight. We covered all the news today.
Oh, okay, okay. Well,
Just
I
hanging
mean,
out and just seeing if anybody would pop their head up because I remember in 2008 when Barack was running and getting elected. I grew up in a very racist small Texas town. Oh my God, I had to unfriend so many people I went to school with. Like it was. I was like, whoa, okay, there it is, there it is. It was like all these little snakeheads were coming up out of the ground. I completely saw it during his elections. Yeah, it was really sad, and just the images of nooses and oh my God, it was just awful.
they
Monkeys and yeah.
Wow. Now we have Sinful Blonde. Sinful Blonde. You're asking. Are you asking Shay or are you asking Zeus a question? You say. What did you say? She says. Let me see what she wrote. Why are you racist if you're voting for Trump?
Oh, well, let me put it to you this way. I'm not saying that all Trump supporters are racist. I didn't say that, first of all. But what I will say is that racism is not a deal breaker to you. That's what I've always explained it to people, that it's apparent the narrative that he pushes supports his white supremacist base. And that is why he does that.
Right.
Now, whether he himself internally or in his heart is a racist, okay, I believe he is, but we can debate that. Yeah. That's not the point. The point is he knows his base. A part of his base is. And so he does what he does to pull them in. The anti-Muslim, the anti-immigrant, the anti-brown people, all that stuff, what he says, that helps them feel part of this group. And that is, to me, what MAGA stands for, right?
Bingo.
It's not all conservatives, not all people on the right. It's not all people that lean right. It's not all people that voted for Trump. That is never what I've said. And I don't think any of us have said that, okay? But there is a base that needed to find a home, and he helped create that home. He got that base to go strongly to the right and stay there, and they have incorporated what we call MAGA, right? And so that
and Jay Bear, she says MAGA is not a movement, it's a brand. All right. And so the brand involves racism.
Well, yeah, it's a movement. Yeah, like a bowel movement. Like I get it. It's a movement, all right. I mean, I don't know what to tell you there, Janae, but it's not a pretty movement. It really isn't. It's wrapped in Christo nationalism, and screw you if you don't follow our way, and that's that's what it's about. And that's not American to me. We should be able to sit here and disagree with each other without painting each other the enemy. But the problem with MAGA's movement is that you don't feel like this, you don't image like I do, you don't feel the same that I do, then you are the enemy and you are not American. That's what we've gotten. You corrupted the American flag and all of that, taking it into that movement to a point where if I see American flags sometimes in someone's front yard, I'm like, oh Lord, is that a Trump supporter? And I honestly hate that, Janae. I absolutely hate the fact that I have to doubt whether I see someone posting American flags on their cars or on their front lawns or on their shirts or hats. It's sad to me what's happened. It really is. But that's the Christo nationalism that I know has taken a group and a hold that Trump pushed forward even stronger. He took a hold of that and moved it so far into it.
She is being real.
Right. It is. Yes, I'm being real. Listen, I have people. It's not on me, Janae. It's on y'all. Honestly,
bingo.
It's on y'all. I've grown up with this. My family voted for Trump. It's not. I understand what's going on, and it is the last fingernails clinging into the cliff, hanging on for dear life, and that's what's going on. and it's a feeling of losing what they've grown up with. It's a feeling of losing what they are comfortable with. So that is what they're responding to, and that's it. And
Nope.
yeah,
Thank you, Shay.
that's why they're called conservatives. What are you conserving? Right? Think about it. What are you
They're
conserving?
so-called Christian values,
Yeah.
which are rooted in racism, bigotry, and all kinds of nasty things. If that's the brand that you like, Janae, shame on you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it is. And you're entitled to do what it is, but you need to understand it more than you do. But I know it's a comfortable coat that you wear. And
Tell them, Shay.
diversity is not your favorite. Now, you're okay with a person of diversity if they believe in what you believe in. That's okay. That's okay. But if they don't, no.
Let them know. Well, all right, Shay.
Anyway, all right, that was fun. Okay.
Thank you so much for having the courage to get in the box and tell the truth and shame the devil, or shame MAGA, as we say.
Did you see the latest several polls? Showing that Biden is plus 27 for 18 to 29-year-olds. Did you see that?
Wow.
Yep.
Polls.
Polls. And listen, polls are good in some ways, and whatever. We don't really go off of that, but those are the latest polls. So let's hope the New York Times and Axios comes out and reports on this, because I think finally they're seeing that Joe is absolutely trying to help the Palestinian Israeli conflict.
Yeah.
So
It's a difference between
that's
what they see.
wanted to see.
Thank you, Shay. And it's good you pointed it out. For those people on the Democrat side that are out here confused, it's a difference between what's going on and what you see, all right? And what you just brought to our attention, Shay, is proof of that. Biden has always been standing on the right side as much as he can,
Yeah, he supports the Palestinians 100%. But yes, we are allies to Israel, so he has
Bingo.
So, yeah. It's not fun being the president of the United States, y'all. It's not an easy place to be, period.
Don't.
Story. All right, guys. Love y'all. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, Susan.
All right. Love you too, Shay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Shay. No lies detected. Listen, we don't have any reason to get up here every morning and lie to folks. All right. That's why when we go over topics, we give you the information. You can screen record it. You can share it. You can go look it up yourself. What this is really aimed at is curbing all of this misinformation that's being circulated by these fake TikTok hosts, these Russian bots, these operatives who got a majority of this country believing in a bunch of crazy things that make absolutely no sense. I have never seen and heard so much ridiculous stuff in my life. Like, for instance, right now, Donald Trump is currently, he's going to trial because of what he did on January 6th. And I did a video about it. He's trying to say he didn't cause the distrust in the political system on January 6th with his rhetoric. It actually started back in 2016 when Russia meddled in the election, right? And so I'm going, wow. So we're back to Russia, Donald Trump, which we all know. We heard Donald Trump stand in front of the camera, in front of national television, and say, Russia, if you're listening, find me Hillary Clinton's emails, which proves that once again, Donald Trump was at the center of another crime. Because as far as we're concerned, when it comes to crimes, Donald Trump is the ringleader. He's the biggest criminal in the United States of American history. All right? Never have I seen anyone ascend to the highest level on earth and within record time end at the bottom lowest level. I've never seen this in my life. And while this individual's riding such a nasty roller coaster, his supporters, they clap and cheer him on like some MAGA possessed demons. What a shame. What a shame. This is why we do what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Oh my God. The box just filled up. That was fast. All right. Louis, greetings, brother. How are you doing? Long time no see.
Morning, Zeus.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm telling you, morning. Hey Zeus, I'm definitely proud of you. I definitely love it that when you bring those guys on and you ask them those three questions, and if they get one wrong, you kick them to the curb. So I love that
Yeah.
because I am really, and I'm not putting down anybody's other content. I really hate when we get these guys in here, especially those BLK conservatives, and we give them a platform. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to stop giving them a platform. When that craziness start coming out of their mouth, you just kick them to the curb as soon as they start that. And that's the way we should be doing it, because right now we have to start focusing on the lowest levels of our government. I'm talking House, Senate, and those guys. That talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a done deal. Let's just be for real. He is done. His goose is cooked. The jar has been opened. You know what I'm saying? He is gone. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like this right here, is that we need to focus on those other things, because we need to start talking about a lot of that local legislation that we've lost, because he's appointed all those judges in those small areas and those attorney generals. We need to start focusing on these young people. You know, we need to start making it clear to them that Biden is doing what Biden has to do.
Amen.
You follow what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, I would not want that job right now,
No.
because I tell everyone, and I think you should definitely tell everybody, I'm not pro-Palestine or pro-Israel. I'm pro-United States. And right now, the United States is supporting one of our allies. So I support the United States, and that's the bottom line on it.
Right.
So it's not about supporting Israel or supporting Palestine. It's about supporting the United States' decision to support their ally. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, nobody wants kids being bombed. Let's just be for
Nobody.
real. In neither country. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But everybody forgets.
Tell
And
them.
I know I've told you this, Zeus. At least I think you were in the last live when I told you that.
Well, say it
When
again. Sometimes you got to repeat yourself to get the point across.
when we went into Iraq, we bombed them non-stop for 24 hours. I mean, there wasn't 1 minute where a bomb wasn't being dropped in Iraq.
Wow.
We bombed them for 24, maybe a little over that, hours straight. Do you think we didn't harm any civilians? Are you following what I'm saying? Do you
I'm
think?
following.
Now, one thing I do know is I know we didn't want to, but
Right.
it's kind of hard not to. We even bombed some of our own people. Let's be for real. So my thing is that there's always casualties of war,
Bingo.
and unfortunately, Israel has declared war on Hamas, not on Palestine, but on Hamas. And there's
Bingo.
nothing the United States can do to stop that.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
that's
have a
just
right to
about
defend themselves, is what Biden said, right? And they were attacked savagely. Um, and,
absolutely.
and yeah, to your point, there's this old saying, "All is fair in love and war," and it's a sad and dark thing to say, but that's why the president's job as commander in chief is a job I have a lot of respect for. It's one I don't believe I can do. I don't believe a lot of Americans could do a job like that, because it requires you to have the ability to, if necessary, do what you just described.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, the only people that can stop Israel is Israel. That's just the Israeli citizens. They're the ones that can stop it. And when they feel like enough is enough, that's when it'll stop. You know what I'm saying? As simple as
Yeah.
that. But there's nobody that can stop them. Nobody could have stopped us from going into Iraq. That's all I got to say.
Bingo.
You
All
know,
right. Well, listen, Lewis.
and yep.
Oh, go ahead.
Hey,
Wrap it up.
just hey, yeah, hey, you're doing a great job, man. I just want to say I really appreciate you and I love it. I just think we definitely need to start focusing on some of those lower levels of our government, because that's where the battle is going to be fought at. I
All
mean,
right.
I think
Well,
anybody that goes
I'm
up,
gonna
Joe.
count on you. I'm gonna count. This is what I tell everybody. This is why I do what I do, and then I let all of you come up here and cook. Bring it to the kingdom, champ. Okay.
A-
Add
Absolutely.
you to the
All right, Zeus, I
rotation so you can
appreciate you,
keep
man.
us updated on these things. All right, because there's only so much Zeus can do in a 1.5 hour time slot. All right.
I hear you. You're doing a great job, though.
All
All right.
right. Come on back,
All right,
my
Zeus.
brother. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it to Lewis.
See you around, man.
See you around, too. See, this is what this is about, ladies and gentlemen. Each one teach one. One hand washes the other. I mean, we're going to get the truth out there. We're going to get you high. We're going to get you in the middle. We're going to get you in the low. All forms of lies and misinformation need to be addressed and shot down immediately. That's why I know these folks that are claiming that they're winning. They know they're not winning. They're losing. They're losing real bad. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Superwoman. Hello. Nice to see ya.
Hey Zeus.
Hello. How are you? Long time no see.
I know. I'm working. You know, I'm a
Oh,
mom,
okay.
so every day, all day, I'm putting in that work. But
I
thanks for letting
understand.
me up.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
I just wanted to say what's up, first of all, to the chat Union Gang.
Union Gang.
I
What's
like
up?
how Lewis brought up, you know, the BLK conservative. I just am so exhausted. I thought when I set out to fight white supremacy, I thought I would be fighting white supremacy. And
Right.
you know, it is okay. I heard you say a form of supremacy. Call it what it is, okay? But just to move forward, because I know I don't have a lot of time, you and this bill.
I know, right? This bill has been, it's a good thing and a bad thing.
You don't be playing, boy, but you got a lot of work and you're doing a great job. But I was inspired to talk about corporations and reparations.
Go for it.
Because, you know, shout out to everybody that's not supporting Home Depot, right?
Right.
That's how you move mountains. That's how you get results. You keep your dollar in your pocket when you know these major corporations are participating in this type of chaos, right?
Amen.
And I mean, how many people came up here and revealed just how truthful it is that white supremacy and systemic racism and oppression still exist in 2023.
Wow.
So while we're exposing corporations, I mean, keep looking. This is what I was inspired to do by this live today. Keep
Wow.
looking for the corporations, right? The huge, these giant corporations that are supporting this ridiculous group of people and
Right.
pulling your money from them. But we need to be fighting for reparations. We need to
Amen.
also be fighting for reparations, man. Like,
It is.
guys, don't take that lightly. Don't. As
Tell
hard as
them.
we are going on making sure, you know, Trump does not win this next election, we also need to go 10 times harder to recover the Black community. The reason is because the entire country benefits when the community that built it is compensated and recovered.
Amen.
And so I love the energy in this live. I love Zeus. I'm just so committed to supporting you.
Aw,
I mean,
thank you.
creative, handsome, just super articulate, and just very well groomed and put together. I'm a fan. Thank you for having me.
You're totally welcome. Wow, right on time. You hear that, Nutty Professor? Little Hawk, thank you. Evan.
But Shay ate, and somebody was complaining about her going over her little bill. Shay was eating. Don't do that. This is about truth. It's about facts, and it's about exposing the ridiculousness in MAGA. So if she's something like that, let that lady eat. Shout out to you, Shay.
All right. Yes. Listen, we getting the truth out here one way or another. You're totally right, Superwoman. All right.
Well, thanks for having me, sis.
All right. Have a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Superwoman. I still see some dissension in the comment section. MAGA, listen up.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
if you are not happy here, you can leave, you Trump supporters. Listen, I know you're concerned about Zeus, all right, MAGA, but listen, you can handle that in a different way. When you come to my live, especially you, Jimmy, all right? You come to my life, you Snuggles and you Russian Bears, Double D, all of you, you're more than welcome to pull up a chair and sit down, all right? But when you get in here, I'm going to give you some advice. The best thing that you can do is to sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast because you've been manipulated and lied to and you're out of bounds. You're out of order. You've been in one too many Snuggles lives. You've been in one too many Southern Firecracker lives. You've been in those conservative spaces, and they've allowed you to get away with what you've been getting away with until you ran into Zeus. And then you got here and you said, "Oh, this is a feeling I've never felt before." And you don't know what to do. Jimmy, I'm talking to you. You've never been surrounded by so much overwhelming truth in your entire life. And believe me, some of you folks, I know you're seniors, and I try to respect my elders, right? I gotta respect my elders because that's how I was raised. But when they're wrong and they're out of pocket, then sometimes you gotta say, well, this is the truth. And this is what's going on right now with a lot of you Trump supporters. You're in your feelings. You're crying, right? You're crying right now. I mean, I have grown men. Every time I end my live, ladies, oh my gosh, I gotta wrap it up. I have grown men crying to me after these shows, ladies and gentlemen, in tears. Snuggles is a good example of one of them. Zeus, I don't know what to do. I'm losing all of my followers. I keep getting it. What is it, Zeus? I said, come here. And listen, HVAC, this goes to you, Bushmaster, and all of you. I got something to say to you. Come in real close. You want to know what you got to do to get this heat off of your behind? Double D, come on a little closer. It's a little secret. It's called Tell the Truth. If you told the truth a little bit more, all of this would go away. But if you want to continue to believe lies and misinformation, no matter how many lives you hold on TikTok, no matter how many videos you upload, it's all going to be the same results, right? You feeling like the biggest loser ever with your leader, Donald Trump. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Donald Trump's going to prison. Double D, this is funny to you, right? This is funny. You know what's funny to me? I'm going to be honest with you. All right? Ray, you still here, Ray? Okay, Ray, I'll tell you what's making Zeus laugh. I go out and I live my regular life, right? And you know, we all do this. But what makes me really smile is I know, without a doubt, this is Donald Trump's last 4th of July. This is his last Thanksgiving. This is going to be his last Merry Christmas as a free man. Right. This is it. This is his last chance with his supporters as a free person. Because come next year, when we go into the new year, you get to turn on the TV and you see the ball dropping, right? You got to have the ball dropping, right? Let's all go there. The ball's going to drop, 3, 2, 1. And then the ball comes down, right? And get this. That'll be the last time Donald Trump sees the ball drop as a free man. All right? And every day I live knowing that. And I know his supporters, they know that. And I wake up knowing that today they're going to ratchet it up. They're going to get more angry. Then the next day they're going to get a little more angry. And then the next day they're going to get a little. And by the time Donald Trump is convicted, it's going to be the ultimate MAGA meltdown. Most of you, I bet you're going to be Ray, you, Double D, Ray, I guarantee you, and mark my words, and then I got to get up out of here because I'm scaring them and I know what they're doing. Ray, you and your friends, you are going to go, I've had it with the United States of America. And you're going to either go do something to get yourselves placed in prison with Donald Trump, or you're going to go, Zeus was right. I'm done with the United States. And you're going to fly to Russia. You're going to fly to China. You're going to go fly to North Korea. And I'm going to be sitting back here counting the number of Trump supporters that get arrested or defect to those countries. That's it. No, Ray. No, Double D. I am telling you the truth. Why would I lie to you? All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're getting closer to Donald Trump and his supporters going to prison or defecting the United States. Each and every single day we go on TikTok and tell the truth. So I'm not worried about a single thing, all right? And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, take care, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your morning. Thank you to all of first of all, thank you to all of you who've tuned in this morning and listened to this broadcast. I got to do this, all right? All right, you all deserve a round of applause, even my critics and detractors. Thank you to all of the panelists who came up here and had the courage and conviction to tell the truth and shame the devil. Thank you to all of my subscribers and my gifters. Later, Red. I'll get you tomorrow, Red. You've been trying to get at Zeus, I see. And last but not least, I want to also say thank you to President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for doing such an amazing and outstanding job cleaning up the mess Donald Trump left behind. We would be in a terrible shape in this country if Joe Biden hadn't taken control of the government in 2020. Because you know what Donald Trump did. Donald Trump had the country. You ever seen a car without tires? You know, and they keep driving it anyway, and then the car catches on fire because the brakes is gone and everything. This is how Donald Trump had the United States. Tore the whole transmission, tore the whole, the tires and the wheel. He tore it all up. But President Biden and Kamala Harris, they got it all back together, and it's running real nice. That's why a lot of folks are out here working. So let's give them a round of applause. And on that note, thank you to my moderators, and I am out of here. Take care, stay safe, and have a great rest of your morning.
Who always was handsome in the kingdom?
And I really am. Most handsome. Let's go.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my mood when I'm grooving like Zeus.
You're welcome.
Thinking that you're cool till I pull up like Zeus.
Standing ovation. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow. Miss Boss Diva. Yeah. And tomorrow's story will be Trump is Your Daddy. Starring, what is his name? Southern Firecracker and his son, who are now bears. It'll be tomorrow. Let's go. Let's go.
Time to let loose with the truth. Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth. Playing hating on the God, but he's such a douche. I tried to be patient, but you had to light my fuse. Catching all the snakes like a mongoose. These ladies love me, yeah, I'm the one that they choose. You know I'm so handsome, that's why they call me Zeus. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus.
You can put as many FJBs in the chat all you want. FJB stands for Joe Biden. Let's go. Yeah, I know you're for Joe Biden. Great job, Ray. Angel. Thank you.
I make my own rules. I'm a god, call me Zeus. I'm hotter than Hades and I'm burning.
Keep it up, Ray.
You say you wanted facts, well, I'm living proof. I've been waiting for.
And I know I made your day, Ray.
Gotta choose if you play around with love.
I mean, think about it. What would you be without Zeus, Ray? Double D. It's Ray okay. Ray, finish your breakfast, champ. Yeah, I know. Your eggs are cold. Yeah, heated those eggs up and they're cold this morning. Hey. Playing hating on the God, boy, you're such a douche. Fantastic, Joe Biden. Ray, you're sick.
Ladies love me, yeah. I'm the one that they choose.
You know I'm so handsome.
That's why they call me Zeus.
Cut it out, Jimmy. Before I tell Mom on you, Jimmy. All right. And you know what happened when Mom caught you last time? She applied some pressure on your behind. Jimmy! Leave Zeus alone! You know how that goes.
God, call me Zeus.
All right.
You know about me. I
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
That's when he committed the crime. He committed the crime right there in front of the world. We all saw it. Let's go. Reggie, let's go.
He's deranged. Jack Smith. 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 Donald Trump is indicted and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges. And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater. Jack Smith.
What?
He's a Trump hater.
You know, this is the favorite thing that Donald Trump said. I like this when he says this.
Did the FBI do that? Because they also did something where they put documents all over the floors and they took pictures.
He thinks the FBI. He thinks the FBI went to Mar-a-Lago and put documents all over the floor and then took pictures to set him up. Oh my gosh, you can't make this stuff up, folks. I'm out of here.